What's good, YT family? It's your brother ELI coming to you with another KVA video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate the love, gang. Much appreciate the love, gang. So, man, shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Devin Haney on the being undisputed, man, being the world champ right now. It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. Also, shout out to Lomachenko too. Shout out to Lomachenko. This is actually, I'm gonna be totally honest. This is the first time I've actually watched a full fight of him. I have not, and Haney actually. I've watched a few clips of them, and I'm a big fighting fan. Like, I love to watch fights. I love, boxing. Boxing is definitely a sport that I grew up watching as a kid, but I feel like once, I don't know, something must have happened. I guess, like, Floyd Mayweather and, all the guys that I grew up watching just got old, so I just kind of stopped watching. And then now with the emergence of, Devin Haney, shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis. He's actually one of my favorite guys to watch. Shakur Stevenson or Steven Shakur, he's nice. I really like watching him too. There's a bunch of guys. Fulton, I like Fulton. He's very good. Who else I like? It's a bunch of other guys I like. In boxing, now I'm starting to see boxing is starting to really grow up now. Boxing is starting to get lit, man. Like, boxing is starting to get lit. It's starting to come back. I still think UFC has just became more, as far as popularity goes, I feel like it's just became more popular just due to the amount of volume that they have. Like, they have probably like 3 or 4 events in a year, 5 events in a year, probably even more than that. And the fighters fight. The fighters who you want to see fight actually end up fighting. Sometimes not always, but more times than not. If there's a fight out there that needs to happen that the people want to see, Dana White definitely does, do a great job, a magnificent job of actually getting those guys in the ring. So shout out to them. But yeah, man, as far as Lomachenko and Haney, man, because I ain't gonna lie, our first watch, and I have to agree, I was wrong. I was one of those people who fell into the crowd as far as, like, believing that, Lomachenko was robbed and, that he actually won, which I do think this. Excuse me. I do think this. At the most, it was a draw. At the most. I don't see Lomachenko winning out of the 12 rounds. I don't see him winning 6 of those rounds. And even out of those 6 rounds that people say he won, or I don't even know. I hear even some people say that they think he won 7 rounds. What 7 rounds did Lomachenko win? And I'm just being honest. And I'm just being totally unbiased, because obviously I don't watch these guys, and I'm not really, like, invested into these fighters. I mean, I like Tank. I follow a lot of his fights, but that's just, Tank is just probably the most entertaining guy in the sport right now. But what rounds did he win? What rounds did he win specifically? Because if my memory serves me right, the last 2 rounds, which were, it was 10 and 11. That's the rounds that I felt like really swayed me to believe he won, right? And I feel like it's so impossible. People who were already judging a fight based off of, now, unless it's a knockout, obviously it's not a debate at that point. But if it's not a knockout, you can't sit here and say, and there's actually like a close fight, you have to watch it twice, 3 times before you make your judgment. It's virtually impossible for a fight that close, that technical, for you to actually make a judgment, like, on the fly. And like I said, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times to actually get my judgment, because a bunch of people were, like, saying one thing, and then I noticed that a lot of people were saying, oh man, well, changing their minds just based off of, the second watch. And that's another thing I hate. Why can't people change their mind? Why can't people change their mind? Why is it like people are trying to like hold somebody so dearly to, the first look? Like, come on, man. Like, it's okay to say, like, bro, after the first look, like, I thought one thing, and then the second look I thought another. It's okay to say that. And I'll be honest, I feel like Devin Haney won at least out of, let's say, out of the first 7 rounds or the first 6 rounds, he won 4 to 5 of those rounds out the gate. Lomachenko started very slow. Very, very slow. He still was active, and he actually did, like, throw a bunch of flurries out there, that I feel like the crowd overreacted to, because none of the punches, some of the punches it landed, and some of them either like just, didn't land, they were blocked. So it was like, I can see how, like, just by the naked eye, how you can see that as like such a big, part of the fight, but it wasn't. Like, it was a lot of those were blocked, a lot of them missed, and he just was throwing a lot of punches and bunches, so it kind of looked as if, right, like he was doing a lot of damage in those rounds. But like, if you really look at the scorecards, all of those punches really did not land. A lot of those punches were what, now I'm starting to learn now that what they call are swing rounds, which I'm assuming swing rounds are just rounds that can kind of go either or. Like, you're not really wrong if you think either or. But yeah, like, he started off slow. He started off very, very slow. Devin Haney just kept really applying pressure to the body. Real slow and steady pace. He got caught a little bit with the jab. You could tell he got caught a lot. He got caught a few times, actually, with the jab. But nothing too major. Nothing really too major, other than the 10 and 11, which I felt like, Lomachenko really did hurt him. But my thing is, like, I don't know why Lomachenko waited until then to really start cranking up, the volume, cranking up the, the punches and all this stuff like that, the combinations. Like, and that's for both of them, actually. Like, I felt like for both of them, for this being a championship fight, I felt like a lot of, they both played or fought very much conservative. They never, you can tell they never wanted to get caught being too eager, being too aggressive. And I think that ended up hurting Lomachenko at the end of the day, because he never started off consistent. He never started off consistent to where, he can say he can start taking rounds off. I don't even know how his team didn't know that he wasn't up on the scorecards. Or, like, I don't know how, like, he felt like he could take that much time off or that many rounds off. And now for and even at the 12th round, which I even still gave that round to Haney, and even Lomachenko admitted that he kind of like let off the gas on the 12th round. So it's like, bro, you're giving people 2 rounds. You're giving people 2 rounds to really kind of compete with, and the rest is really swing rounds or rounds that, that, you guys were kind of, neck and neck. So it's like, I don't know how he believes that he that he won the fight just based off of those two rounds specifically. And I can be wrong. I love watching this fight, so like I watch it again to kind of give you guys a better analysis. But as far as I'm concerned, I really do. I give the fight to Haney. I can't tell you which rounds, because I feel like that would take a real, watch for me to sit down and actually like count punches, and I'm not finna do all that shit. You're not paying me enough. You're not paying me at all, let alone for me to do some shit like that. I'm not that into it. But I can definitely, say that, like, just based off the naked eye and, what I seen so far, with the times I've watched the fight, I feel like Devin Haney definitely deserved to get the nod, especially being that he's the champ. Especially being that he's the champion, you have to take the belt away from him. You have to take the belts away from him. You cannot leave that up to the judges, especially if you're going to fight how he fought, which was very conservative, very slow paced, not really doing too much. Like, he just never, I don't know, he just didn't do enough. I feel like he just didn't do enough. And I think he even admitted that he just didn't do enough. But either way, man, Hat goes off to Devin Haney, man. Shout out to Lomachenko as well, man. I guess who I'm curious to know who he's going to fight next. I mean, they can only duck Tank for so long. They can only duck Tank for so long, man. So we're going to see. But, yeah, man, shout out to Devin Haney, man. And shout out to the whole KVA gang. Like, comment, subscribe, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Holla at me later. Peace.